Hey, welcome to the second video. I've got three parts to this. The first one is accusations, or any type of accusational behavior. The second part will be projection, and then the third is tension. And I'm going to put these all together and show you the reasons behind this all. This will help a lot of people that work with other people, like other magicians, or people that work with music, and police officers, or doctors, or anyone that thinks they understand psychology and can grow a little bit more using these types of interactional mentalism skills. Okay, so you've got law of correspondence and polarity, so you've got opposites of meanings of everything. Now, false allegations are usually done through insecurities and fear, a lot of paranoia and assumptions. The person feels that if they don't falsely accuse, then they might not be good enough. So we use this for an example. When someone walks past my table and I am performing, and they say magic is shit, magic's just fake, magic's just a make-believe thing from La La Land, what they're actually truly saying is that I can't let my hair down and relax, and I don't feel confident, and I don't feel good enough as a person, and I can't look at things positively 24/7. And I feel uncomfortable when I see anyone else that has that state of mind. Make sense? Cool. So, because it stems from jealousy and insecurities, any form of bullying or projection stems from these things. Now, projection is almost like an accusation. What it is these are the sayings are, you made me feel that way. This is how you made me feel. Or, why are you making me feel like that? Yeah, you've heard them before. What about, why are you acting like that? Because that just like, and there's this confusion. Now, look, I've seen monks, like incredible Reiki masters, in this state of mind saying those sentences. I have seen, even myself, but I've seen many beautiful spiritualists, and they've stated, like, but what's all that? And it's like a human nature. We just study each other's body language, and we study each other's vibes, and there's this competition of who can become the best. So humans naturally are competitive in most things, but the most thing they're competitive in is being more mentally stable, or having a better perceptional outlook, because the world revolves around me, everything. So when you're walking down the road, all your thoughts are you. Now, there's this saying, I am not my thoughts, I am not my feelings, and I'm not my body. Yeah. So if you are not your feelings, that means your feelings are like, like the tools that are like an extension of your mind, because your mind's like a computer. Yeah. And I am not my thoughts, which means like your thoughts and your mind, the structures, your computer frequencies allow you to process things around you, your subjective reality. As we perceive things, that doesn't mean that we are perception. I am not my perception. And we can perceive however we want, but what is really important is our interpretation. And that brings us to tension. So when there's tension between two people, whoever believes in that tension is the one that is not interpreting the situation properly. So if you're angry at me and I don't interpret you as angry at me, then I'm interpreting the situation as logical, which means I've got complete emotional control. Yeah? Now, if the other person is interpreting me as angry and I don't pick up on that, it might be ruthless, like it looks weird and it's stupid, but in reality it's okay. The second part of that, if I'm aware that that person is angry, if I'm aware that that person is triggered by me or whichever, if I'm aware of their mindset, that can help me, because if I could, like, imagine if I could understand that mindset. So if I'm like, oh, that person is acting jealous, and that's why they're treating me that way, or that's why that's where the tension's coming from. Like if I understand that, then I would definitely know how to react to them, treat them that way. There's plenty of videos all over YouTube, everywhere, all over the internet, books and stuff everywhere, right? You can look this up. So you can't really have an opinion about another human being unless you understand how they function. So if you understand how tension works and how jealousy works and how ridiculing works, why people bully each other and why people have insecurities, like why? These are the best questions to ask. All the whys and hows, yeah? Then you should know exactly how to react. So you can't say that you're positive and you can't say that you're going down the right path if you're looking at other people thinking that they're not going down the right path. There's a really good saying that I saw on Facebook, actually. It was a meme, right, with this lion. and the lion said, you can't go around saving the world and saying that you're a good person and then also say that they are suffering and that they need all this help. See, like, you experience what you do, I do what I do. But in reality, we both got the same tools. Now, if you don't have a good sufficiency, or capacity of emotional support to yourself, like you can't really emotionally support yourself or even express it. If I can tell that and I can understand why you can't express that, then just interacting with me would allow you to feel stable, wouldn't it? Cool. Now, if you're walking down the road, this will work for anyone. If you're walking down the road and someone looks at you, and you have that thought in your mind, like, what the fuck? Oh, excuse my language, like, what? Like, just the way they looked at you made you feel uncomfortable. I guarantee you've experienced this before. Depending on how you interpret that and how you were affected by that is actually what it really truly is. This one time, I used to always get triggered by this dude. I used to walk into the servo, always constantly triggered by him, and there was tension. I'm like, I'm sure he can pick up on it. But when I faced my own self-value and worth, like it took me like a good few weeks of like this questioning. One time I walked into the servo and I just paid for the fuel and left. Now I can see that he was still triggered, but I just felt shielded, like I just didn't feel like I was affected anymore. Now this is really cool because I noticed that he was affected and I had compassion for that. Like I was like, okay then. It showed me the mental level that I was at compared to the level that he was at. So I guess at the end of this, accusations are done to sort of reverse any sort of pressure or tension or any sort of feelings of not being good enough. Yeah? Projection almost does the same thing. So if I can look at you and judge you, then I don't feel judged, or I don't feel like a judgmental person even. I can even judge your judgment and justify that as good means. And then the last one is tension. So if I can do the accusation and the projection, that once there's no tension, it feels like there's like a release. And you notice in the Western society, like people go out, they club, they escape from using drugs and alcohol and nice good clothes, and then they compete. So this projection has become a habit because it's like a dopamine, like with the mobile phones, and they blink. Everyone needs to project in order to state their reality. So the more I project, the more I receive, and then they get hooked on it because that's how they get their dopamine rush. At the end of it, it's just endorphins. Now, if you can project inwards, and it's just a self-validation, so you validate that hurt inside. So I don't feel good enough. Why? You state what you don't feel good enough about. And then each single time you judge that instead. You keep, well, why? 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 And just keep asking why. Like, why is that? Why can't it be good enough? Yeah? The cup is half full or half empty. Yeah? I believe it's both. It's probably none. It might not even be a cup, half full or half empty. Even if you poured it out, it would have air in it. And then The cup has its own molecular system made up of ingredients. If it's glass, it's like compressed sand, plastic. It's got everything is made up of something, so nothing is empty. Yeah, you can use anything as tools. And if your capacity is mind and emotion, then what exists is what you say exists. And so if you really truly want to live a good life, you have to believe that living a good life has no method. It's got nothing to do with anyone else unless you say it does. And that's personal. So yeah, food for thought. Don't stub your toe, because it'll hurt.